Good day. Welcome to class. This is our first lecture in this cohort, and is the first week that we'll be listening to this recording video. So in this video, I'll be guiding you through the process on how to install Microsoft Office. And Microsoft Office has Microsoft Excel embedded, and also through the process on how to identify the features on our Microsoft Excel. So as you all know, we are going to be basing this course in using just two tools, and the tools are Excel and Power BI. But for this lecture and next week lecture, I'll be walking you through the process of Excel. So for you to have an Excel in your system, the first thing you need to do, for some of us that might not have, is you might just try to go through Google. We try google.com. Once I have my google.com, I can, okay, let me be sure that I have my details being recorded. Okay, that's fine. So I can go through. So I search on Microsoft Office 2019. 2019 is mostly preferable. You might decide to use a higher version or a version that is lower than that. So you can choose to download this particular one or choose any of it and download it. Microsoft Office is a bit heavy. I think it's about 700 and something MB that you might need to download and to install it on your system. So I haven't done that, then we can decide to walk through. Once that is downloaded, you can go to the location where it's downloaded, where the software is being downloaded into, and try to install it from there. So if you have done that, maybe you cannot find a way of downloading it online. You can just get the CD. I think for the pirated one, you might see it a bit cheaper, and you can install it on your system. So I haven't done that. I can choose to launch out my Microsoft Excel environment. This class is basically for practical class, so we are not here to just talk about theories. This is going to be practical based section for this our course. So I just type Excel on my system to just pop up. Then I click on it. Then it launched out my Excel. In my Excel, I can choose to launch the blank workbook. The blank workbook look like this. So I can have my blank workbook. You can see that in the blank workbook, it has it's made up of green lines. The environment is made up of green lines, showing rows and columns and different cells. All of these parameters you see here is called a cell. A cell is intersections of the rows and columns, and that's what we have in Excel. Okay, so let's proceed. Now in Excel, if I come to this file, if I just click on this file, it will show me this environment. This environment is called the backstage view of Microsoft Excel. This is the backstage view of Microsoft Excel. In the backstage views of Microsoft Excel, you see your home. In the home, if you click on blank, it will launch you to a new workbook entirely. And that workbook, you have your worksheet inside of it. Then you can have some templates. These are already made templates that are already in Microsoft Excel that you can just edit to suit your purpose. So if I click on more templates, it's going to launch other templates for me. I can also get some template online if I'm not okay with this template that is giving me. So these are several templates that you can have. For instance, if I choose to just launch budget overview, in this budget overview, it will give me something like this. In budget overview, I have budget summary, monthly expenses, additional data. These are just templates that have already been designed into the Excel. So I can edit it to just suit my purpose. If provided I'm working in that area of budgeting, or I'm working in the area of expenses, I can just come here and click on it to just edit some of those parameters to suit my purpose. But that's not where we are going today, because we'll be learning on how to build our own template and from scratch, and how to use it to do some analytical work. So let's go to the backstage view again. In the backstage view, in the home, I said we have the blank workbook. This blank workbook, we open a new one when you want to start afresh. Then we have several templates that you can use for your own design that you want to use. Then I have recent. This recent is showing me some of the recent work I have done in Excel, just displaying some of the details and information that I could have. In this pin, I can also pin this. You can see that I've pinned this. I've pinned uh, salary scale of data analytics. So I can choose to pin any of these recent work that have been done. You can see as immediately I just put it there, it's telling me to just pin my work. I can pin to the list. If I pin this to the list, to just display it under that platform that I have. Let's say I want to pin to the list of what I have. That's COM 117. If I come here, I can see that it's already pinned, just like the way we pin some messages, some information or updates on our WhatsApp. So that is for the home under the backstage view. Then we have the new. This new also can enable you to launch a new black workbook, or to create a new one that you want to have. Then I have open. Open will just help you to launch out the existing work that you have done in Microsoft Excel. It will just help you to launch it out. The get in this get in. Okay, this is still the back. In this get in will allow you to install some functions, or some functions into the Microsoft Excel, or some software that you want to integrate into the Microsoft Excel. The get in, we help you to do that. We call it the add-ins. So the add-ins gives you all of those information. Then for our information, it helps us to encrypt our workbook or our worksheet. So I can choose to password my workbook. Maybe after I've finished doing my work, I can choose to protect it. I can choose to inspect it, or to manage my workbook between the people I want to share my workbook with. I can do that. Then we have the save. We have the save as, as almost the same functionalities that we can use. Then I can save to Adobe PDF. But instead of saving to Adobe PDF, your savers also have some of the extension files that you can save with, that could enable you to save, either saving through to your PDF, or saving to a different file entirely. If I click on this save as, let's say I want to save a particular document here, I can come here to my document. I want to save into this document. I will see a list of information that could be saved here. So I can save my Excel in a different format. So I can save it into an Excel 97 2003 workbook. I can save it as XML data. We use this basically for database. I can save it as a web page. So my Excel can also be saved as a web page. I can save it as PDF. I can save it as CSV files, and all of that. So I can have some of those information to be saved, and it can help me. And as I'm saving into PDF, it will automatically convert what I have into PDF, so that nobody will be able to edit the information that are there. Then I have the print. If I want to print the work that has been done in Excel, I can also share. I can share with people online to also view the work I'm doing. They can also make contribution to it. And this is one of the features that enables Excel to do the work of collaboration. So Excel can help me to do work of collaboration. I can share into their email, and I can also share as a link. So if I can just create, I can share this as a link in a PDF format. So what I'm just sending to the person that want to view my work is just the link of the Microsoft Excel that will enable the person to just see what has been done. Then I can also share this. This is also what enables the sharing of the link into an Adobe form. Then in this more, you will see your exports. I can choose to export my work into a database. Maybe I'm exporting into SQL, my Excel, because Excel allow you to import directly into a database file. I can choose to close the information. This account give me the information of my Microsoft Excel that have been installed on it. And that's why you are seeing Dio Ogundele, the email that I use in the registry for this particular software. And this is showing is Microsoft Office Professional Plus 2019 that I'm using. And this is also telling me that it cannot as well be integrated into Microsoft 365 if I choose to use them. Then I have some Office background that I can apply into my work to just change my background there. I have my theme. In this theme, I'm using the black theme. I have the dark gray theme. This is like the dark gray theme. I can choose to use the dark gray theme. I have the colorful theme. I can choose to use this. I have, you can see it's changing the background of what I have. So if I just choose to leave it like this, I can have the background. And if I go to my Microsoft Excel, you see that the background has been changed to a different background. Like if I come here now, you can see on top of this place has been changed automatically into what I have. If I change it to, if I come back here, I go to more, account, then I choose to change it to, let's say I change it to black. Black will change the entire, to change the entire worksheet that I want to use. So this account gives you details of the environment and gives it a very good background of different features that you want to use. So account does that. In some people's system that I'm using different versions, it might not be showing this more. It might just show account and options down below this place that we have more. For my own has created it as an options when I click on more to have export, close, account, and options. And in this option format, in this option, it can enable me to do some settings. Maybe I notice that there are some features that I need and has not been enabled on my Microsoft sheet. I can come to this backstage view. I can come to this backstage view and click on option, and these options will enable me to do some certain text settings to it. Let's say I just launched my Microsoft Excel and it's showing in Spanish. It's not showing in English words. I can just come to language. I'll come and see what is showing. Here it's showing English preferred. So it shows that these options have been properly been set under this Microsoft Word. And it has the advanced options. I can check all of these things. If there are no features that are not displaying or it has been disabled, this is the place where you can enable the options. So you can click, and these are all the features. It's saying customize ribbon. These are all the features that I have under my ribbon in the worksheet. These are all the features. So I can trace all these features. If there's any features that is not being used, I can also make use of them here by enabling it as well. So that is on that backstage view. Now let's go properly into the environment. So I will launch by launching my black workbook because I just want to create from scratch. So I'll click on this to launch a blank workbook. And this is how a blank workbook will look like. In a blank workbook consists of grid lines. These are all green lines. The grid lines consist of several cells, and the cells are intersections of the rows and columns. So each of these that I have are cells. They are cells. So let's start from the top view. From the top of this Microsoft Excel, is what we refer to as a title bar. This title bar, and that's why you are seeing book 2 Excel. So if I save anything on my Microsoft Excel, it's going to be displayed under this book 2. So to change the name of this book 2 into a different thing, then under that title bar is showing the details of what I use in registering this this software, Excel, what I use in registering the Excel. That's what it's showing. Then I have my minimize, maximize, and close. Then if I click on this, this is displaying the ribbon options. So if I click on this, it's showing me that I can auto hide my ribbon. So if I click this, you can see that my ribbon is automatically hide. So it's hide. I can choose to show back my ribbons. If I click on this to just show my ribbons that I have here, click on this, show tabs and ribbon. So it's showing the tabs and the ribbon under this format. So you can choose to, anytime you just launch your Excel and you find out that your tabs is not showing, maybe just like this. What you just need to do is to just come to, sorry, I've gone to minimize it. Let me close this so that I can just, so if you notice that it's not showing, what you just need to do is to just click here and say show tabs and command. So it will show all of the details that you have on that. Then here is where we have our quick access toolbar. In the quick access toolbar, I have my redo, the undo, the paste, the copy, some of the quick action that I might want to apply. I can see them here. That's why we are having the open, the save, the email, the quick print, the spelling, the undo, the redo. And so I have all of these details here being captured. Then I go to the next one, this particular bar. In this particular bar, you see here, it's called the menu bar. And each of the menu bars is the one that is displaying the ribbons. So if I go to home, the home will display. These are all the ribbons under the home. These are all the ribbons under the home. You see insert, there are ribbons, page layout, there are ribbons, formula, there are ribbons, data, there are ribbons, review, there are ribbons, view, there are ribbons, help, there are ribbons, and Acrobat, there are ribbons. So we have all of these menu bars called the tabs. So we have the home tab, the insert tab, the page layout tab, the formula tab, the data, the review, the view, and the help that we have under this. And if you look at the home tab, under this home, you see that there are several features under this home. The home is the most used tab that we are going to be using for our data analytics. It's the most used tab. There's virtually nothing you want to do to analyze your data without not making use of the home tab. So the home tab is very, very important. So under this home tab, you see that there are groups. We have the clipboard groups, we have the font, we have the alignment, we have the number, we have the style, we have the cells, we have the editing, we have the add-ins, we have the Adobe Acrobat. We have all of those functionalities to be used. We have all of these functionalities to be used. So we are still coming to this, and we will pay our attention to some of the features that we might be needing to use under each of the tabs that we want to apply. So we have this. Then the home tab, the insert tab has tables. So if I want to create a table, I'm going to be making use of the insert tab. And in data analytics, there's something we call the pivot table. The pivot table is very, very essential, most especially when you want to do your dashboard, when you want to create your dashboard or you want to do analysis to your data. You'll be making use of the pivot table, and this is what we call the standard table. So the standard table will also be used by the time we begin to apply our data into some of this, apply our data, you will see how all these features will be applied underneath. Then we have pictures. We can have pictures from our worksheet, and we can also import pictures to be used. I can create different shapes. Maybe I want to talk about a particular thing. I can create a shape here. I can create a shape here. Maybe I want to talk about a process or a direction to a particular thing. Under the insert, it will enable me to create some shapes on how to do the connectivity like that. This is the shape. It can enable me to apply some shape fill. I can apply some shape fill to it if I choose to apply this. If I choose to apply another shape fill to this like that. So we are still coming to all of this. So we have the shape fill, we have the smart art, so we're making use of in this insert. What is so paramount for you to know as a data analyst is for you to know how to make use of your table in this group, how to make use of your charts in this group, and how to insert pictures, insert shapes into your worksheet is very, very important. This chart is what we'll be using to create our dashboard. So any dashboard I want to create, any dashboard I want to use, I'll be using my chart to do some of those analysis. And that's why in our next class, in our live next class, we'll be talking about how to use different charts and when to use them. So we're looking at all of those aspects. We have the sparkling, we have the filter. The filter is also very, very important to filter our data. There are some data that we might have because data consists of several things. So I can say I want to know the performance of a particular student in computer, and I have several students in different departments that data also consists. So I can use my filter to filter that particular student to have the information of that student alone under my Excel. So all of this is what we are still going to learn. Then the page layout is basically for your settings. If I want to do a settings to my background, if I want to put it in different orientation, I want to apply some background theme and all of that, I'll be making use of my page layout. Then I also have my formula. In this formula, there are several formulas that Excel has. And Excel also gives a platform by which we can also impute our own formula depending on the kind of work you're doing. So you can also impute your own formula into it. And you can look at all of these formulas. These formulas you see in Excel, they are called function formulas. That's why we call it the function libraries. So if you look at these, you see that we have a lot of them under a logical functions. We have the and, we have the false, we have the if, we have the not, the or. We have for the text also, we have some formula that can help us to work on the text, like our uppercase, our lowercase, our character length, our building up our child, building up the right parameters, the trimming, the text join, and all of that. I can do a text to apply to some of those function labels that I have. Then it can also enable me to apply the date, to apply the timing. And when it's doing this date and timing, it will automatically pick the date and the time of the system that that particular person is using at that point in time. So then we have the lookup references that can also be used. We have the arithmetic and trigonometry. We are also going to be needing some of these for our data analytics. And these are several more functions that we can use. So we have the statistical functions. And if you look in our live class, I was saying that part of the skills that a data analyst needs to have is the skill of statistical computations. So as a data analyst, you must have that skills of how to do your computation statistically. These are the engineering field. These are the cubes. These are the informations of different cells and compatibility. So we have all of this also that we can use. So basically, under this formula, we'll be making use of the function libraries. The function libraries is the most important for our work in data analytics. Then when you look into this place, underneath that function library, you will see this is a formula bar. We call this a formula bar. This formula bar is where all the formulas that we are entering into the cells, that is the place where it's going to be displayed. So if I just look in here, I want to enter a formula. Every formula is expected to start with equals to. You see that it's being displayed. Let's say I say sum equals to sum B2 to pick the cell to B8, something like that. It will just automatically display it here. But because I don't have parameters there, let's say B2 I put 26, then B8 I put 30. You see it will automatically add up the figures that I have here. So I can see this. Then you can see that it's being displayed under this formula bar. It's being displayed under this formula bar. Then also this place display the name box. So immediately I'm clicking on a particular cell, the name box here will change. This presently is saying that I'm on E4. So if I click here, it's showing I'm on C5 at that particular time. If I click here, I'm on I10. If I click here, I'm on C14. So anywhere at a particular cells that you have clicked, you can see the name box at the top here. So that's where you view some of those your name box that you have. Okay. Then we have the data. This is where we have our data. Our data is not enabled yet. Okay, this is where we have our data. Under this data, we are going to be using the transform data, how we can transform our data. Here you can see that for get, I can import. That get data means that I'm importing data into this Excel. So I can import data from Excel workbook, from CSV file, from XVM files, different files. I can also import from database, maybe from SQL database, Microsoft Access database, from analysis services, different forms, depending on where my data is saved, that it will show where I'm importing it from. So if my data is saved with SQL database, I'm going to be importing it from the SQL database. You can use Azure database also, the online services, maybe it's in online services or Microsoft Exchange Online. I can import it from there to this particular location, and it automatically converts it to the Excel file. And that is what this get data also means. So it enables us to just transform our data into different form. Then under this data also, part of the features we'll be making use of is the query and connections. This query and connections is also important because this is what enables you to link up various data together. So it's the one showing the relationship between a particular data to another data. So this query and connections will also make use of them. So we have the sort, we have the filter. The filter will help us to also filter some particular information that we need from our data. So I will still talk about the data validation. So as we speak now, these data features here, this data tab is very important. Just like the way we have the formula important, the data is also important. Then we have the review. This review can help us to do some certain things to our work. This review, it can help us to do some certain things. Maybe I want to check the spellings of my work. I want to check the accessibility. I'm going to be making use of it. Then I have the view. Under this view, I can say, remove these green lines. You can see that all the green lines here have been removed. Now looking plain. It's just looking like a plain page for me. So if I put it back, it will also display it. I can say remove the formula bar. This is the formula bar. If I click here, it will automatically remove the formula bar. I can say remove the heading. If I click here, it will automatically remove the heading. You can also put it back. The heading is showing the alphabet at this point, then it has the number. So I can remove the heading and I can choose to display the heading depending on how you want your details to be presented. Then I haven't explained all of that. When you come back to your home, I told you that the home is the most used tab that we have. You will see that in this worksheet, it consists of several columns. These are columns. This top here is the columns, which that is showing A, B, C, D, E, F, like that. I can extend it. This stops at U. When we go further, you see that this is Z. And from Z, it did not stop there. This is where we have our Z. It did not stop there. You see that it still extends to AZ. Here we have AA, AB, like that. Then to get to where we have ZZ. From ZZ, it will now begin to have, yeah, it will now begin to have ZZZ, like that. It all extends. So no matter how large the data is, Excel can also accommodate. The same way we have the numbers from 1 to 23, I can choose to extend the number from here to different levels. If I have my data up to 100,000, Excel sheet can still accommodate it. So no matter how large. So it also accommodates to analyze different forms of data. And in our live classes, we talk about the big data. And in the big data also, Excel can also analyze different data that are big data. And we said that part of the 4 V's of data is volume. The volumes of the data can also be accommodated in our worksheet here. So let's move further. Then here you see that this is the worksheet. By default, when you launch your worksheet, it will display sheet 1. I can add more sheets to it. I can say insert another sheet. Once I click on it, I'll say okay. If you see that this is sheet 2, I can say insert another sheet. I click here, then this is sheet 3. I can choose to format my sheet. Let's say I want to add colors to my sheet. Let's say I want my sheet to be like red, something like this. I can format my sheet this way. I can rename my sheet. Let's say this sheet is staff record. I can say this is staff record. I can come here again and say, okay, let me apply this and say this is student record. I can apply this to it. I can apply this, then apply my font color. I can apply my font color. Let me make this blue. Then click on this one. I can also rename it and say student payment or student results, something like that. Yeah, something like this. I can also have it this way. I can also apply the color. I click on it to apply the color. Let's say I'm applying the color of this color. So I can do all of this to my work. Another thing I can do when you right click is that you can duplicate. I can duplicate a worksheet, just like this is where I have all my details. I can duplicate all these details here that I have here. I can duplicate it into another sheet instead of putting all of those details again one by one. So what I will just simply do is to just right click. I'll say move or copy. So in this move or copy, I'll just come here and say move or copy. Which one did I want to move or copy? Student record. Is it student record now? Student result. Yes, I'll click on student results because it just listed out all the sheet that I have. Student result, I'll just say, okay, it should help me to move or copy to student results. Okay, I've clicked on this. So it will just help me to move or copy. Okay, student results, yes. Then you click on create a copy. After clicking on the create a copy, you see that it automatically move. So it's showing this one to our student result. So I can say this is student results 1. student result one, something like that. So I have all of these details into it. Another thing I can do under this worksheet is that I can I can encrypt my worksheet. I can protect it maybe with password. So I can come here and say, okay, I want to protect my worksheet. What password did I want to use? Different password. I can apply any password to it. Anything I type here and I say, okay, it will automatically encrypt this worksheet. So if I send it to somebody else, the person will not be able to open this particular worksheet. They will be able to open all of these ones, but you won't be able to open this worksheet because it's already passworded by somebody, except you have access to that password before you will be able to open the password. So let's quickly move forward and make a little progress from here. Now, in this place now, okay, in this place now, you can see in our worksheet, I can have my zoom in, I can have my zoom out. Can you see this place? But it's mostly preferable that is on 100% because that gives you a good view. If you zoom in, you see that the cells becomes too small. And if you zoom out, the cells might become too big. So it's better you just leave it at 100% so that you can see all your view. So this is the normal view that we are expected to have. You can have a page layout view. These are a page layout view we display. You can have another view that is called the page break view. So the normal view is the view that we use to do some computations and analysis in Excel. So let's just go into the business of the day and make a bit of progress from this class. So here, if I want to enter data, I just click here. Let's say I just click here. I want to enter my data. Anywhere I click, it will enable me to enter my data. I can say name, let's say name, let's say phone number. Yeah, I'm just taking you through now, immediately I enter phone number, you see that the phone number aspiring to another cell entirely. So the best thing to do here is to just come here. Immediately your mouse cursor show a cross sign. You can just click on it and drag to the point where you can see your work clearly. So I have phone number. I have let's say department. Yes, this one has also spine, so I can choose to move. Let's say I have a profession. Profession. Yes, I can move. Then I have account. No, qualification. Let's say I have qualification. Okay, I can move it here to the desired point. Then let's say I have a destination where the major role the person is handling. So let me choose to just bold this and also extend it further. Let me apply font size 16 so that we can see it very well. Let me apply, okay, let me apply this. I can see this. Let me just extend this one so that I can display it for me. Yeah, so this is what I have, this name. Now, in this name, let's say I apply Shola here. If I have Shola here, I can Shola, let's say I have a BC Shegun. Now, this is Shegun. If I want to duplicate all of this, what I will just simply do is to just click on the top of the cell name that I have. Then I will just select it. I will drag it down to just select. Then from here, I can duplicate. You see that it will duplicate it into Shola BC Shegun, Shola BC Shegun, Shola BC Shegun, like that. So I can have all of those duplicates. But if I just want to autofill it by Shegun, I'll just click on Shegun. Once you at this edge point, that is showing box A. So I'll just click on it, then drag it down. Drag it down. You can see it's just showing Shegun, 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 Shegun. So this one will relieve me of the stress of having to type all those things over and over again. It will relieve me. So let's apply our phone number. Let's then apply this phone number. Apply this phone number. Apply this phone number. Let's do another one. Now, if you look at this phone number that I've applied here, you will notice that from this name here, if I click on Shola, you will notice that under this number is showing that Shola is on general. That is, this general is the data type that we have. If I click on the number, is on general. But what this number is that I cannot have these zeros here. So if I want to have the zero at the beginning of my number, what I will simply do is to just change this to a text. This is the data type. The data type is showing that is on general, which is no specific format. So I can just come here and click on text. Now, once I come to this text, it's going to be, I can have these details. Then this text will enable me to apply a zero to it. Can you see the zero? Yes. If I choose to just click on select everything, then apply text. I just apply text. Can you see? So this can enable me to apply to have zeros in my numbers. It can enable me to have zeros in my number. But you observe that aside the zeros we have, there is an arrow at the top showing a green color. Can you see? An arrow at the top where my cursor is showing a green color. In this arrow, I can choose to ignore it. If I click on this, I can choose to ignore it. I can say ignore error. I can come here also and say ignore error because I don't need it there. And ignore error. It's just showing that you should confirm if the number is correct or not, but we know that the number is correct. So I can have this. So I can choose to also duplicate this. I can choose to just also duplicate this. Then I have all those numbers there. Then let's have department. Let's say one of the departments is technology. We have another department, business. We have another department, customer care. Customer care. We have another department, let's say department that is into training and development. So we have this department. This one has spiked over to a new cell. So I can just choose. So let me select this to just duplicate what I have. I drag it down. Yeah, so I can have this. Then let's go to the profession. Let's say profession is accountant, what other profession? Marketing, and I have a marketing software engineer. Let's have another profession, data analyst. Data analyst, like that. So we can have this profession. So let's go back. I can also duplicate this profession. Let's qualification. Let's say we have MSc, we have BSc, we have HND holder, we have ND holder, and we have a PhD holder. So I can choose to also duplicate this. I can choose to duplicate this down. I'm dragging it too much. So then for designation, I can say this one is on level 1. This one is on level 2. I just assume. This one is on level 3. This one is on the 4, like that. So let me choose to also duplicate this. Okay, drag it down. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what we have. So I have succeeded in entering all the data into my worksheet. So can you see how this data is looking like? And if you look at all of these data, they are defined by their data type. If I click here, this is defined by text. If I click here, it's showing is general. Then if I click here, this is general, 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 general. I can choose to do some manipulation into it. Different data types can be applied. I can this is the data type on currency. This is, for instance, let's say let me apply amount. Let me apply amount. Let me put amount here, and I say I have 1 million 200. Let's say I have 250, like that. So let me duplicate this. Okay, it has already given me some duplicate here. So this is the amount. So if I choose to format this, for instance, let's say I go to this is not meant to be under general because it's like a currency, is an amount. So I can choose to have it under currency. Then now, can you see this error that is showing now? Whenever you see this error showing, it means that the space we have there could no longer cannot contain it. So you can just expand the width of your cell so that I can just contain it. So yeah, can you see what I have? Then it's giving me at 2 decimal place. So I can choose to just increase the decimal space. I can choose to decrease it. If I don't want a decimal place, I can just have it this way. So this is showing in dollar form. I can change it to different currency. Let's say I have some more other currency. Yeah, this is currency. I can choose currency here. We are in Nigeria, so let's look for our own currency here. Okay, this is Nigerian currency. Now, can you see that it's showing in Nigerian currency? So this can help you to just define different data type. This data type now is under currency. This data type is under general. If you look at this data type, it's under text. So I can have different data type. Like if this data type under department is also a text. This is also text. We have different data type that we can apply. So we have data type of short date, long date, time, percentage, and all that. We are still going to be talking about data type maybe in our next class so that we'll look into it. And I just want to advise you that in our resource video that have been uploaded, we have some shortcut keys in Excel. Please kindly go and read them appropriately. Ensure you read them. We have shortcut keys in our resource video. And as a matter of fact, I will advise you that you go through all the resource video and see how you can apply it appropriately. So let's move forward. Here, I can just select. If you want to select, just put your mouse there at the center. Once it's showing that tick cross, you can just move it. Then once you move it, I can apply my color. Let's say I choose to apply a deep blue color. No, let me apply a deep blue color. Yeah, let me apply a white to this point. This is my text field for the background, but this is the text field for the text. So for the text, I can apply something different into it. So if I select this text here and I come to the text area, let me select it. Please follow me. I have my background. Let me see what's my background. Okay, I can choose to have more colors, different colors that I might want to apply. Yes, this color. Uh, this is the text color. Let's say let me apply another color into it. Okay, so I have this. I can also come here, select all of these. Once you have your tick cross, you can select it down, you can select it by the side, then come here and say, let's apply our background color to be this blue. Your color theory is also very important, and your color combination, because by the time you be dealing with your visualization, you must know how to apply your color appropriately so that your color will not be giving a fade line. So this is what we have. So I can choose to maybe bold it. This color I'm having for the background is not making the color to show properly. Okay, let me have it to show. Okay, this is better. So I have this. Let's select this. Let's select this. Okay, so I have this now. I can choose to bold. This is my bold. I choose to bold it. All right. Okay. I can choose to bold it. Now, can you see what we have here? Okay. Can you see? This one is entering into, so we can just extend it a little. And this. Okay, let's say this is, let's apply. Here we can, this, what we have, the details we have here does not have an heading. If you want to apply an heading, we are going to be inserting a new row because this place is a row. So I can just come here and just click here and say insert. What am I inserting? A new row. This is a new row. So if I insert this new row and I say this is let's say staff details, at uh, supermart store. Let's say staff details at supermart store. Yeah. Can you see that what I have here is spanning through other cells that I have? Is on phone number here. It has spanned to other cells of department and other. And since this is heading, it will be nice when it's at the center of your work. So the best thing you do is to just come and select all of this. Select it. Just once you select it, then you are going to merge the cell. So how do you merge the cell? Look at this icon here. You are going to click on it and say merge cells. Once you merge the cells, you can now choose to bring this to the center. This is the center point. You can choose to bring it to the center because that's our center. So at this center now, I can increase the size. I can increase the size. Let's say I can increase the size. I can give it a background. Let me give it a background. The color is too blending. Let's see a better color to apply. Okay, I think this color is a bit thicker. Okay, this color is a bit thicker. I can apply this. Then I can choose to give this a different color. To just make it different from what I have. The color blending is also very, very important. So I can't just use any color that won't blend with it. So let's just retain it like this. Now, can you see that this is like at the center of what I have? This is at the center because I have choose to just make the cells. I inserted a column here. The same way I inserted a row here. The same way I can insert a column. If I want to insert a column here, I will come to this point. Once it's showing that arrow down, you know, when immediately I came here, it was showing the arrow pointing to the direction where I want to insert it to. For instance, I can come here and say insert. It will just, once it's showing the arrow, I can just say insert. Can you see? It has inserted it. So, but I don't need it. Okay, let me say I want to insert to a column. This is a column. I want to insert a column, a different column entirely. I'll click on here and say insert. Can you see that it has bring a different column for me? So this is also one of the group art, and the column is bringing for me is already formatted to the color that I want it. Is already being formatted to that color. So I can choose to just remove it. Another thing I can also apply here is that I can select this and decide to put it in a table line. Now in this table line, it will give it a border. I can just come here and say apply all border. You see that the way it will just show the lines. So I can apply all border to this point. So that is the way we just go about this. And then on the final point, I can choose to calculate total here. Let's say here, let's say I want to know the total amount. I'll just say equals to what? Sum. I will open the bracket. I'm just trying to sum it. Open the bracket. Then I will pick up the name box of this cell. What is the naming box of this particular cell here? Because I want to calculate from here to this point. So I'll pick this place. This is H3. Now it has picked H3 because I want to sum up that value. I will say H3 semicolon. Then I'll come here to say pick it to the last, which is H21. Then I'll close it. Once I close it, I can just click anywhere. Then it's showing me that the total of all of this value is what I have here. I can choose to also apply some features to that total to just differentiate it from what I have. Let me add some features to it. Okay. Let me apply. Okay. Okay, these features. Okay. So I can just bold it. Now, it's showing this because the cell is too small to accommodate the figure. So I can expand the cell so that I can help to accommodate. So maybe I can just probably remove the decimal points so that it can immediately accommodate what I have. So this is what I have. So in our next class, we are going to go into the details of the basis of Excel. So there I'm going to show you how to make use of different formulas, how to calculate how to do the function formulas, how to make use of the signs, and how to calculate your total, how to apply different Excel functions. We are going to be dealing with that. So on that note, see you in the next class as we delve into a different mode and time. Thank you.